Why did I respond to a 13-year-old? Desperation, isolation, loneliness. It's boring as fuck. You have nothing going on. You don't even know how to talk to a fucking girl.
Some of them going to sleep. Fuck God!
Nasty bitch, stinking bastard!
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Antoine here, and welcome back! We're back with another video on the channel. In today's video here to do another Random Talk video on this channel. In today's video, well, I'm sure you guys already know what we're going to be randomly talking about based on the thumbnail and based on what you guys see right here. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this documentary that I have been watching for the past couple of days. It came out around August 9th of 2026. It's now August 13th of 2026. So it's been like 4 days since this documentary came out. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very disturbed by this documentary, but it was also a W documentary as well. I highly recommend it. If you guys want to watch that out, it's up to you. It is what it is. But I want to give my thoughts on opinions on the whole documentary and everything else, and run down everything that has been transpired in the documentary and talk about it. And if you guys know the documentary I'm talking about, it's basically about the sick motherfucker, the sick piece of black shit named EDP445, whatever. It's about this dude. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's about this piece of shit right here. We're going to talk about him and the whole documentary, you know what I'm saying, and in today's video, you know what I'm saying. Mike Clum, shout out to Mike Clum. He's a YouTuber that made a documentary about Boogie, to 645, 69, 645, I don't know. But he made a documentary about him a long time ago. But if you guys want me to go back over and maybe talk about that documentary, and see how it goes from there. But let me know in the comment section down below. I'll probably remind you guys towards the end if you guys want to go back to Boogie's documentary, because he made a Boogie 65, 69, 69 documentary, and I used to grow up watching Boogie back in the day. Like he was one of my very few YouTubers I watched back in when I was a little kid. So I thought about a long time ago doing like a thoughts and opinions on that documentary, but I realized I was like, hold on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not sure about that, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I had contemplating about that one. But this one, on the hand, I really have to talk about it because obviously I liked the Mike Clum's documentary on Boogie. When he made a Boogie documentary. And now this one, honestly, this sums up everything about this piece of shit about disgusting human being. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I want to talk about it, give my full thoughts, opinion on the documentary and everything else that transpired documentary, and some of the stuff that probably was left out of the documentary. Well, not some of the stuff. Like it's probably like one section that was kind of like the most, I believe, not the most talking point, but like the after this whole documentary came out, it was like really talked about amongst the community and everything else. So, but anyways, we're going to talk about it, obviously get our thoughts, like a full thoughts, opinions on it, and, have a little conversation. I mean, it has been 2 weeks since I've done like a legit full video on this channel. I mean, granted, the last time we did a video on this channel, we played a walkthrough on this channel, whatever, but now we're going to switch back on doing Random Talk videos. And then we might go back to it, you know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting for it. I'm trying to get there is like 2 games I really am trying to play on this channel real quick. But it might have to be delayed to next week. I think next week I will for sure get another walkthrough on this channel for sure. But right now, I want to talk about this, give my full thoughts, opinions on this whole entire thing because it's very intriguing. I like Mike Plum's, not Mike Plum's, Mike Clum's, documentary and everything else. What he did is actually pretty awesome, pretty detailed. Full shout out to him. I'll link his channel in the description and the full documentary if you guys want to, watch it for yourself. But be advised, it's very disturbing. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I was intrigued by this because Mike Clums. He made a good documentary on Boogie, and I figured why not see this documentary of EDP 445. I didn't want to because I at first I wasn't so sure about this documentary because this dude's a piece of shite. We already know what he does though. But for some of those who don't know, who have been on the internet for quite some time, like I have, will probably don't have no idea who this piece of shit is. But based on thumbnail, I think you guys already know how is this gonna go. Because I kind of like I ain't do this thumbnail. This is Mike Clum's thumbnail, but I kind of like put like some few of my little bit of like editing on the thumbnail and a little bit on there what to give you guys the understanding what we're like going into like right now. So it's gonna be a long ass round talk video. So grab your coffee, grab your water, your soda, whatever, your Kool Aid, whatever. I grabbing my water because I gotta stay hydrated. Recommend you drink water, stay hydrated. It's gonna be more like a talking podcast, whatever, and all type of stuff. Granted, I don't watch podcasts or whatever though, but just some of those are interesting though. But it's gonna be more like a talking point. You know what I mean? Give my the full thoughts on this whole entire thing. Have a conversation for you guys and see if we go from there. You know what I'm saying? Also, I do want to make a disclaimer and everything else. There's going to be certain people that I am going to talk about in this video too as well. Please not send no hate, no threat, no anything towards this person or anybody that I'm going to be talking about. Not EDP445, the other person I might talk about because obviously what this person said on the Mike Clum's documentary, it was very controversial and it was alleged and everything else. And then while I'm going to talk about this person, please don't send no hate, no threat towards this person because obviously this person got groomed by this piece of shit here. So I want to point that out real quick and before we go into it. And I'm going to remind you guys that again because I don't want no hate towards this person or anybody because this person did got groomed by this piece of shit right here. But we're gonna dive into that one as I go along. I did wrote a few things down that I really want to touch upon and everything else. And yes, I have watched this documentary over at least 3 fucking times. I'd watched this over 3 times to try to get everything in order because all this is in order. And obviously I want to talk about the full like the bullet points that has been talked about in documentary. I'm not gonna go over everything that's been talked about documentary. I want to go over all the stuff that was very important in documentary that I want to talk about. That really like outlined of everything, and then give my full thoughts and opinions on that little point, here and there, and then we go from there. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, there's a lot of shit that needs to be discussed, and yeah. So obviously, we're going to talk about it. So with that being said, man, thank you for all the support once again. We are getting closer to 600 subscribers. Of course, we're like at 500, like 84 at the very moment. The shorts have been a banger. Not gonna lie, I make some YouTube content shorts and everything else, along with TikTok shorts and everything else. You know what I'm saying? They've been bangers too as well. But you already know what comes to the channel. We're a variety content creators. We're a variety content, channel. We don't just post shorts and everything. We post gameplay walkthroughs. We do random talk videos like this. We do plaid trophies. We do content in general that's necessary or that I like, you know what I'm saying? So I do this content for me. But anyways, besides that though, thank you for all the support. Once again, let's get to 600 subscribers, 600 subscribers basically. And let's see we go from there. Let's get our full thoughts and opinions on it. Let's not waste on time because I waste like 9 minutes of me talking, all this type of stuff. So obviously, I watched this documentary. It's called "The Sick Mind of EDP445." This is a Mike Clums documentary. Obviously, big shout out to Mike Clums. He done a fantastic job over this documentary. It's absolutely amazing. I do like it. I watched the Boogie's documentary a long time ago. Like I said before, if you guys want me to like go over the Boogies, documentary stuff like that, get my thoughts, opinions on that one, have that conversation, all that. We will dive into that one if this video does well. If it doesn't, then oh well, you know what I'm saying. Or maybe let me know in the comment section down below if you guys want me to talk about the Boogies documentary that he made like quite a while ago. So I figure, why not talk about it? But we're only gonna be talking about EDP445 documentary. Get our full thoughts, opinions on it because he did make a one before EDP45. It was Boogie, and I want to talk about that. But let me know if y'all want me to talk about that also. If y'all like this whole entire breakdown, me get my thoughts, opinions on this whole entire documentary and everything else. So yeah, I watched this 3 times. Obviously, it's basically if you guys don't know who EDP445. Good, because you don't want to know about this nigga. Don't even research the nigga. I advise you not to research this nigga. But for those who don't know, based off my own mouth, EDP45 was like a YouTuber that has like over like 2 million subscribers. Of course, 2 million subscribers. He was known to be like a ranty, Eagles fan who rant about stuff, about everything, that like life, his team, and everything else. For all the Eagle fans out there, I seen my condolence. I feel bad for you that you had that this type of fan. This dude right here is a piece of shit. I feel bad for Eagle fans because they got hurt by this shit because it's like damn, we represent us and he's doing this. Yeah, I feel bad for y'all. But anyways, shout out to Philadelphia Eagles, all out there. Anyways, and all the fans out there too as well. But anyways, besides that though, yeah. So this dude obviously he was known for being a ranty, adult person. Obviously, when it comes to his team, criticizing, anything in life, he does that, and he garners viewership because of that around the time. And obviously, he became famous off of that stuff. How do I know this? Well, I watched a little bit of him when I was around the time when I was you know going around on YouTube and all type of stuff. Like I haven't like subscribed to him or anything. He was just like on the front page of YouTube, and I watched him rant about his team like almost every single time, which it can be hilarious sometimes, but also can be a bit annoying because it ain't that serious, on the fucking team, like whatever. But anyway, besides that though, obviously as time went on, as he started to get garner viewership and popularity, he started to like, get attention and all that type of stuff. However, his life was kind of tragic a bit, in a way. He was basically, according to him, he wasn't getting any, actions, no bitches, whatever. He was basically getting lonelier at the lonely and all that. He, saying he got a house and all this type of cars, but then he realized, man, I just need to find somebody. But over the years of his life, he couldn't find nobody and everything else. The ladies started rejecting him, girls started rejecting him and all type of stuff, and everything else. So he started to basically like give up on ladies that he wanted to like, go out with around his age. So instead of that, he decided to look for people that were underage. So you already know how this is gonna go when I'm about to say it, right? Yep, that's him. And he started doing all that and started to be completely weird about talking to minors, basically texting them, sexing them, how grooming them through text messages and doing some weird jack off shit, some weird stuff. If you can think of your head, but don't think of it in your head if you just don't say it out loud, whatever. But basically, obviously he's thinking, obviously, he's doing all this weird stuff, and it started to like, escalate, way back in 2000 during the pandemic. A YouTuber by the name of Cole Raven. Yeah, a Cole Raven dude. Yeah, he's literally there's a guy named Cole Raven. He's a Raven fan, of course. He made a alleged, alleged at the time, documentation about EDP45, talking to these groomers, these minors, and everything else, and he was grooming them and everything else. Many of the many of the kids that were minors, like came forward about this whole entire thing towards Cole Raven, and he decided to like do all this, allegation against EDP45 because he can't stand him and everything else. And obviously, Cole Raven has some of these minor girls that were coming out confronting, EDP45 by sending some of the proof to Cole Raven about what they had during their interaction with all the nasty stuff that EDP45 has done. And obviously he took it to on his YouTube channel. He posted. Obviously, EDP45 did not like that. He started saying threats towards his ways, threatened to kill him and all that type of stuff. Cool Raven does not care about it. He wants to get him out off the platform immediately. So he have all these evidence and everything that he had stacked that was alleged at one point. You know what I'm saying? Then Cole Raven, eventually as time went on, all these, these girls that interacted with EDP445 on the internet, they start coming up with proof and everything, screenshotting to Cole Raven about all the interaction that he have that EDP445 had with these girls. And and they sent it to Cole Raven, and Cole Raven decided to basically use it and to try to catch him and get him off the platform. But he needed somebody that was known for try to catch, predators off the platform, child predators, predators in general, all that type of stuff. And obviously he looked to the guy named Alex Rosen. Now, Alex Rosen, he's a very controversial figure. A lot of people say he's a racist, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I guess you could say that, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know much about the dude. I don't know he used to be a YouTuber himself and all this other type of stuff. And obviously, Cool Raven decided to use all the evidence he got to give it to Alex Rosen. And Alex Rosen, of course, used that to try to track down EDP45 to try to get him caught. Eventually, they found text messages of him basically texting a 13-year-old girl, which is EDP45. He was texting a 13-year-old girl to try to groom and doing all this other type of weird stuff. And then he was trying to meet up with this girl. Obviously, around this time, Alex Rosen was trying to find a way to get him to basically try to get him to try to, you know, basically, trapped him basically. So Alex Rosen and his team, I don't know who's his team, I'm assuming, right? The people he collaborated with, were actually trying to catch him. By obviously they saw this and they figured, you know what, let's go ahead and get EDP 445 off platform, whatever, and do all this other type of stuff. So what happened was, obviously they ended up decided to go and meet EDP45. They planned a meet up and all this other type of stuff that was going on. All this other type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Pretending to be the girl and whatever, pretend to be like a 13-year-old girl, whatever. And then themselves to try to get EDP45, and trapped him if you want to get him to come lure him lure into the place location and all this type of stuff that went in. Obviously the location took place in Baker's of Fold, California, basically, and it started around April of 2021, because around it started around April of 2021. April, like around 2020, around 2020 during the pandemic, Cole Raven, came out and threw out some accusation against EDP45 and alleged to like multiple proof about this sicko EDP45 was doing to these to like talking to minors, whatever, in a weird way. And then, like I said, he sent it to Alex Rosen. Alex Rosen did his little sting operation on April 21st of 2021. No, not April 21st. April of 2021. Or he did it around Bakersfield, California, whatever. Met up with EDP45, obviously, and EDP45 openly admitted in front of Alex Rosen and his team that he was eventually trying to meet up with this 13-year-old girl to try to basically have sex with this 13-year-old girl, basically. And obviously the grooming and all that, he admitted all those things and all those accounts, and he did everything that what I'm saying, that he openly admitted to. And at first he thought that, oh wait, is this recorded? Is he getting caught? Is he being done? Yeah, it was being recorded. He was basically cooked. Like, what do you expect? Like, he was going to meet up with a 13-year-old girl. Like, bro, you're stupid and you look like. Of course, he was going to get caught doing this shit. But obviously, that was the case. And his career was basically done for. Now, you would think that, okay, of course, he will have to go to jail for this. Here's one problem. But before we get to that one, EDP45 mentioned this, that he thought about not going to the meetup with the 13-year-old girl because he had blocked and unblocked, and he had thought about not doing this because he felt like it was wrong, and he knew this was wrong. So in his own conscious mind, he's thinking, yeah, this is wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. And while that was happening, he was thinking about his mom, because obviously his mom's deceased and everything else. She passed away. She's like a heavy smoker and all this type of stuff. And obviously, he was just thinking about his mom and all the type of stuff before he met with the 13-year-old girl. Before he was going to meet with a 13-year-old girl, and he thought like, man, I shouldn't be doing this. Isn't right. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? And in his mind, he's probably thinking, yeah, it's wrong. I shouldn't do this. I should walk away and everything else. While he was thinking about his mom and all of this, and it's like, damn. So he could have just walked away, but he chose to go forward with this. So basically, while I'm thinking off of this, I'm thinking, so he knows that this is a mistake. He knows this is a mistake because based off of him blocking and unblocking his 13-year-old girl, And of course, with all of that, he would think, okay, this is wrong, this is right, wrong, oh, whatever. So at this point, he already knows script that this is wrong, but he chooses to do it anyway, which resulted of what happened. And obviously, Alex Rosen and his crew, or the people that he was collaborating with, they confront him and everything else about all the messages and everything else. EDP445 openly admitted this, without knowing there was a camera, which he should have known there was going to be a camera. Of course, you can get caught, saying, okay, well, you trying to meal with a underage girl, which is weird, and all for some damn cupcakes and shit. Which, by the way, the underage girl had a little thing of cupcake, whatever, and all that, which explains the whole meme of cupcake, why ED445 is a cupcake, because of that incident happened right there. So Alex Rosen and other content creator, I don't know who it was, but his crew, whatever, they ended up obviously catching him and they caught him. Now, you would think that, oh, so he's meeting up with somebody that's underage. You would think that, okay, well, he's going to jail, right? Well, there's a problem with that. Yeah, he openly admitted it of doing all that, but the problem was the way Alex Rosen did this, he completely botched the whole sting operation and everything else. What happened was he had texted meeting up with him. Basically, he has texted meeting up with this dude instead of actually finding a decoy or somebody to pretend to be the underage girl to go meet up with him or whatever. But then, Alex Rosen should have done that, but instead he texted EDP45, which resulted of him entrapping him, pretend to be the 13-year-old girl. That's what Alex Rosen did, which is basically entrapping him, which resulted of, well, you can't trap someone of a predator like EDP445, knowing willingly that he probably is walking into something that he knows, but he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, because of that whole sting operation that was a botch, Alex Rosen could not get EDP445, even though despite the fact that he openly admitted he was meeting with a 13-year-old girl. But however, Alex Rosen was texting EDP445 upon everything about that, and he couldn't get him in jail because you can't text a person or a predator or whatever that's what you try to meet up with, because now the court or the people that's like the police officer or the law enforcement, basically FBI, couldn't take this as a serious case because you decide to do all of this while trying to meet with EDP445. And on top of that, Alex Rosen, the other mistake he didn't do, which is going to be most common of mistakes that everything is going on the documentary, when it comes to catching EDP45, is going to be a common thing. Not getting the police involved. That's another thing. I'm assuming nobody not talk about it, but he didn't get the police involved. He literally went on his own way, text EDP45. Alex Rosen, and his production crew did that without getting the law enforcement involved. If we got the law enforcement involved, there was a chance that they would have probably called him, and then boom, he would have Alex Rosen would have been the hero or whatever to stop EDP445, and then boom, we wouldn't have to worry about the next thing that EDP445 did, and he would have been done and sent to jail completely. But because he texted EDP45 along with the not getting the cops involved, EDP45 ended up getting away with it, and they can't take and the FBI couldn't take no serious charges, whatever, and anything else. So Cool Raven did all of that for nothing. He basically, well, actually, he did something. Well, there's something into I want to say that he basically should have gave it to another person, or maybe should have gave it to the FBI themselves to try to track down, EDP45, whatever, and all that, to try to handle it. But I guess Cole Raven, he liked this dude so much, he was watching this guy for around that time, Alex Rosen around this time, because he's one of the very few people on the internet, early, YouTube internet, was trying to catch predators. However, the way he was doing it was very controversial and everything else, and obviously resulted in EDP45 getting away. He didn't get arrested nor incarcerated or everything. He just basically walked like a free man, unfortunately. Even though, despite the fact he did admit it, that he was meeting up an underage girl. But Alex Rose's mistake was, obviously, he was texting EDP45 throughout the whole entire thing and did not get the cops involved, which he botched the whole thing. And of course, that resulted of him not getting arrested. However, despite all this, EDP45 YouTube career was completely over. It was all over the news. Every YouTube content creator was talking about this. He was completely done. It garners millions of views upon what he did. He got banned on YouTube. all social media platforms, including his cameos, were completely over. He was done so. His career was done. And although despite him trying to make numerous comebacks, it ended up being a failure as well. So he lost everything. He lost over 2 million subscribers, all because of his sick mind and sickness that he was doing. Which yeah, that's pretty suck. Because imagine you grinding so hard to get to 2 million subscribers, all the fact that you're doing some heinous, nasty shit, and knowing the fact that this was wrong too as well, mind you, because he know for a fact this was all wrong. Yet he still continued to do it. This he lost his YouTube channel. He lost everything. He was completely done. This all happened in 2021. Yeah, despite the fact Alex Rosen and of course one of his crew members did botch the whole thing, they at least they did was they did got him off the platform. So I will give him somewhat credit, although he is controversial. Alex Rosen is a controversial motherfucker. I will say that, but he did do the diligence. He did something by getting him off the platform. So that's a good thing. I will give him a little bit of applause, but you still controversial as well. So you still a piece of shit. And also the way that Alex Rosen did this, he seemed like he didn't approach him the way like in all seriousness. He seemed like he was just dapping him up, trying to have a conversation with the dude. Like you could like Alex Rosen could have just real just like had the police aside, obviously, do a little whatever, and then obviously, you know, talk to EDP445 about why he was doing this and that, get into the bottom of things, get to the straight of things. Because content creators, YouTuber content creators, and hell, even streamers who try to catch these predators will just focus more on the content side, the money side, rather than actually getting the predators off the street. And I'm not saying all content creators does this shit, but there's some content creators that does this stuff, which leads to law enforcement and FBI not taking this shit seriously and just throwing away the cases, whatever. Unfortunately, and I feel like Alex Rosen, what he did was he approached EDP45 like he was cool with him, whatever, and he just talked to him or do whatever instead of getting straight to the damn point, along with not getting the cops involved, and along with talking to him before he got into that the location it was meeting at. So he messed up. He completely botched the entire thing. Because if he didn't botch this, if Alex Rosen didn't botch this, EDP45 would be in prison. We don't have to worry about talking about him. This whole documentary would not exist. Well, maybe probably still exist regardless, but who knows? And yeah, there was a lot of mistakes that Alex Rosen and his team did and all this other type of stuff. So after this, EP45 said that if he had a gun, he'd probably kill Alex Rosen and all these other people that was there that day. So he made like numerous of threats and Cole Raven and now Alex Rosen and everybody else. He made numerous of threats throughout this whole entire documentary, just the FYI. So we won't go back to all this. So after all that, a lawyer that was involved in this documentary or anything else, he's publicly stated that if he was EDP 445's lawyer, he would advise him not to do the documentary. Why? Because there's a possible chance that he could get going to jail. Because as I'm recording this, they're investigating this nigga, and there's a possibility he can go to jail until 2027. Otherwise, all the cases will be dropped. So there's a chance in 2026 we could be seeing EDP 445 in jail. Which, if that happens, I will make a video on that one for sure. Because he need to get out. He need to be Matt Hardy. Delete, obsolete, delete. He needs to be deleted. Obsolete. He needs to be gone. He need to be put to sleep for good. All that type of stuff. So I can't yell, but you already know. But anyway, besides that though, so that happened. He has openly like there has been 16 like criminal acts that EDP 445 had openly admitted to, and everything else throughout the whole entire documentary. I can't go over it. You're gonna have to watch it all back in the documentary yourself. He openly admitted doing all these weird stuff that he is doing, and it's being documented as we speak. So basically, he's already shooting himself in the foot again. So the lawyer basically said there in the documentary said that if I'm his lawyer, I would advise not to do the documentary because you can still get in trouble, and there's millions of like proof and everything that what he's done, like grooming and all that. Because granted, he did groom the 13-year-old when Alex Rosen came up to it, and openly admitted to it. Alex Rosen, came up to him and confronted him about the whole thing. Yeah, he was going to meet that 13-year-old to have, the what. But besides that, though, yeah. But despite all the whole failure that Alex Rosen did, at least he got him off the platform. So I guess you could say it's a W to him, but still, he's still a free man. All right, so next up, we'll talk about Chris Hansen right here. This is Chris Hansen right here. He took whole, the whole thing about the whole entire documentary. He took his own thing about the whole entire documentary. He got involved in the whole entire documentary, and he interviewed the EDP45. He talked about how obviously what went wrong with the first time, the whole catching EDP45 with the whole Alice Rosen stuff, along with the other YouTube content creator while we were talking about. But he interviewed EDP45. They talked about the whole entire thing, about the whole entire him, a 13-year girl, and without hesitation, EDP45 ended up, obviously admitted it to what he was going to do and this and that. I don't want to go in details because it's nasty predatory shit. But obviously, in that case, Chris Hansen said that damn, if Alex Rosen and his team did not fuck this whole thing up, obviously, you've been put in jail, you've been incarcerated, what I'm saying? Then the EB45 is like, well, thank God that it didn't happen. And I'm like, like, that's what he basically said. Like, it's unbelievable, right? And obviously, Chris Hansen's like, kind of discussed, like, oh, so you was meeting up with this 13-year-old girl. And obviously, without hesitation, EDP45 said, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Like, he openly admitted to everything, just like Alex Rosen told him about this, like, told him that he admitted to all this. So he wasn't, without hesitation, he admitted to all this. And obviously that happened, and obviously we go into more of Chris Hansen basically, like, talking about, what really botched this whole entire thing is that he was so much focused on the content rather than actually making the money off of it, because he did make money off of this. Like, Alex Rosen did make a lot of money off of catching EDP45. He did make money out of this whole thing. And obviously the issue here is that if you focus so much on the content rather than get into the bottom of things, the law enforcement and the FBI won't take it as much seriously, and they'll just keep it the backbone, and then it just won't go nowhere. And obviously, he's right, because, like I said, when you're catching a predator, and your content career, your objective, your main objective, your one and only main objective is to find, catch this predator, and put him to jail. Fuck the content side, fuck the money side. Just get him out the damn streets and to protect these people at all costs. And obviously, when it comes to content creators, all nowadays, not saying everyone, but some of them just pull out the content and just go for content just for money wise, rather than actually getting the people off of the streets, and just getting straight to the point. I think Alex Rosen did all that, and which was all one of his botches. He just was being cool, talking to EP45 like it's nothing, and he just kind of delaying it, the whole inevitable, like, dude, get to the point, get to the point. Whereas the cops said and all that, there were a lot of errors that Alex Rosen in, and there was some errors that this other YouTuber I would talk about that they kind of fucked up everything as well. And I will go over that one too as well, along with Chris Hansen, because he did also talk about the other YouTuber who did caught EDP45, and it was a 15-year-old girl, which her name is Kayla Huskins, whatever that's her name is. This her name, Kayla Huskins. I'm gonna keep her on screen, all the way throughout this, because I think we need to talk about this girl a lot, because she's a bit iffy, what I'm saying. Although, despite that she is a victim, and she indeed got groomed by EDP45 when she was 15 years old. She's like currently like 18 or 19. I do feel bad for her, and I hope wish nothing for the best for her, what she does in her life and all that, and hope she get through this whole entire effect after getting groomed by EDP45, because getting groomed at her age is kind of traumatizing. So I do feel bad for her. Hopefully, wishing nothing for the best of her and everything else. It's never okay to be getting groomed, especially at her age and all that. It's just beyond just sad, and I feel bad for her. But hopefully, I wish her do nothing for the best, whatever future, and hope she get past everything in life, all that type of stuff. Now, with that being said, she's very questionable because I watched the whole documentary 3 times, and let me tell you something. She's one of probably the stupidest victims I've ever seen in my entire life. She's probably the most stupidest victim I've ever seen in my entire life. I have never seen a victim that, yes, although she got groomed and everything else, which is so fucked up in so many ways, but she turned the table onto someone, another content creator, that was trying to help her, get her, get her to to catch this dude in EDP45 who's obviously contacting her and everything else in some certain way. And of course, this girl, and she's very confusing. So let me explain all this and everything else. Obviously, Kayla Hutchinson, she was groomed by EDP45 when she was 15 years old. This happened around what 2023 is, so 2 years after the whole entire incident where Alex Rosen caught EDP45, right? She ended up, getting involved with EDP45 through the DMs and everything else. Um, around I think around before the Discord and all type of stuff. Well, around Discord, according to her, according to the documentary, she said that she got involved in the Discord. Saying she found EDP445 in the Discord, um, and it was in Gideon's Discord. Which, if you don't know who Gideon is, he's basically his real name is Demarcus' cousin, whatever. But uh, short term Gideon. But in short term, this dude named Gideon was one of those people on the internet that do catch predators and all this type of stuff and everything else. Um, Obviously, the EDP45 went into GDN's Discord, and the reason why that happens because GDN was trying to do an interview with EDP45, mainly to just do the interview or whatever, and all that type of stuff. And according to Michaela, there was children involved in the Discord, whatever. According to her, due to a documentary and everything else, basically, saying obviously all that happened and then obviously all that. So according to her, she basically met EDV45 in the Discord, and everything else, in GDS Discord, of course, and they started the exchange. Obviously, she got groomed. EDP45 disgusting ass nigga decided to show exclusive photos, whatever, his nasty ass, and then obviously all that type of stuff. And then he made numerous of threats on her and everything else. Try to go do meetups and all of that, and EDP45 openly made like if he didn't get like a caught or whatever, he was more likely going to kill this woman, which is fucked up in a way. And it's all of this is kind of crazy and all that type of stuff. Obviously, she obviously, like I said, she was in GD on Discord and everything else, and all that type of stuff happened. She got groomed there. Yeah, GD on obviously, going to in the documents, Gideon specifically told her when she found out about EDP45 being in the Discord, getting messages by her. He specifically told her not to engage with the message, block him, report him. You know, go to authority, to the police, and everything else. Same thing applies with all this other type of stuff. And unfortunately, at around this time, being 15 years old, she was being stupid and dumb, being big brains, opportunist, whatever. She decided to say, okay, well, fuck no, I'm going to still talk to the dude, communicate with the dude, despite Gideon telling her not to do it. It's according to the documentary if you're going to want to watch that, but also, other thing we'll want to touch on that too as well. And despite all of this, um, she got groomed it and everything else, playing stupid and dumb as usual. And this is why I say she's like the stupidest victim I've ever met in my life. Like she literally plays stupid victim. She could have just blocked him, report him, go to the police, whatever. But instead, she shot herself in the foot. So, and she decided to do all this stuff. Granted, she's a kid. Yes, I'm aware kids do make mistakes, but any common kid with common sense would not do that shit and would just report it, block it, and move on. But no, because she's a kid, I guess a lot of people in this world give her a pass, which is stupid, but whatever. Anyways, besides that though, you know what I'm saying? And obviously that, and then obviously um GDI obviously saw this. She claimed that it was encouraged by the Discord people in the group, including GDI too as well, according to the documentary, which okay, that's according to her, but we'll talk about that later on. And she did, got groomed by EDP45, but she did not exchange photos. She exchanged, fake photos, whatever, and all this type of stuff. Saying according to her, and obviously it was just Photoshop shit, like fake Photoshop to pretend to be somebody else, or Photoshop somebody else, but really it's not. So, and obviously EDP45 doing some disgusting, nasty shit. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that happened. So with all that being said, Gideon and his friend named Skept, whatever, they saw this whole thing happening and they decided to take action into what was going on. They tried to meet. They tried to talk to Kayla through Discord to try to figure out Like, where's she getting all this from? Give me all the proof and all this type of stuff. And how can we get EDP445? Get him caught, whatever, and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And all that type of stuff. So this is where Skepta and Gideon decided to um get like try to get like an adult person into the scene without getting Kayla involved, because I know it looks like that they was trying to get Kayla involved knowing that she was a minor. They weren't, because because it would be unnecessary, and plus she just got groomed in and all that. She's a kid, she'll need to be involved in that. So to try to get like a female actress that looked like Kayla, to try to message the EDP45 to pretend to be the 15-year-old to try to catch EDP45, because they don't want a minor involved. That's like endangerment to children. They know that it's bad. It's by law you can't get arrested for that. So obviously that happened, and obviously, she talked about how Gideon was a scam artist, or how he was a Illuminati, whatever, all these other type of BS. She also claimed in this, well, not claimed, she also admitted that she could have just blocked him and do all that and move on, like report to police and all that, but she chose not to because, well, this was an opportunity. This was a cloud chasing shit. She wanted to take an opportunity to do this, what I'm saying? Opportunist, all that big brain shit that she talked about. And basically she's figured, hey, listen, I'm young and stupid, so basically if I decide to do this, hey, people say, well, you're young and stupid, you made a mistake, it's all right though, just don't happen again, forgive her, and it is what it is. And this is the part right here that kind of pissed me off a little bit, kind of like, wait a second, so your parents didn't get involved until Gideon got your parents involved, but your father wasn't nowhere to be found. That would make sense. And then on top of this as well, you still engage with the whole entire conversation between you and EDP45, knowing Gideon told you not to do it, according to the documentary. She did it anyway. So it's like, it was for clout, it's for attention, and also being an opportunist, like she fucking Edge from WWE, being radio superstar, and that happened. And so all that being said, so she was basically trying to like destroy Gideon, the person who's actually trying to help her catch the groomer the groomer that's groomed her, which is EDP45, which is unfortunate. So Gideon, after that, he responded. This is out of the documentary though, but he did respond it. And he basically claimed that, obviously based off of him, with full proof that prior to the disc before, before going to Discord, she was already contacting with the EDP45 and everything else. So basically, she was the one that was like talking to the dude before even going into like Gideon's Discord. So at that point, she was already in contact with the dude, and she saw this and she figured, hey, should I not, should I report it, or should I pretend to be like this catch a predator, whatever, and all this type of stuff based off the audio that Gideon released based off his statement. And the people in Discord was telling her not to do it. They was telling her not to do it. A lot of people in the Discord told her not to do it, and Gideon, told him not to do it, whatever, told her not to do it, like I said earlier, which resulted of, obviously them not doing it. But she figured, you know what, hey, I wanted to do this because it's like I said, according to the documentary, because I'm opportunist, I'm cloud chaser. I figured this would garner attention, and all this type of stuff, blah blah blah. So she was playing young and stupid and doing all this young and stupid shit, being a young stupid victim, basically. Yes, she got groomed, which is she's technically a victim, whether y'all like her or hate her. She is victim. Unfortunately, she is the victim. You know what I'm saying? And I wish nothing for the best for her and everything else. I don't want y'all to see no hate or no threat towards her. She was young and stupid, but at the same time, I am pissed at the fact that she tried to frame the person who actually tried to help her, which is Gideon, and it's beyond crazy. And I'm not even a Gideon fan. Okay, I don't even watch the motherfucker. I don't watch the nigga, bro. I don't watch Catch a Predator YouTubers online or whatever. Okay, I have a life outside of YouTube, whatever. Anyways, besides that though, yeah, that whole situation happened, and G, I had to make that respond and everything else. It's all over the place, and it's just a shame because this is the reason why not many people don't help victims like her, because they'll just turn a 180 and go and get you or whatever. So the sting operation that Gideon and Skip did, which was a complete error, they try to meet up with EDP45, pretend to be Kayla, obviously, by again like somebody that look like and be like Kayla, whatever, and both proceed to basically try to go meet up with EDP45, text him, whatever, and all this other type of stuff. But pretend to be like a adult actress or whatever, and all that, or whatever that look like Kayla. meet up with him and everything else. Got the messages and all that. And obviously, Gideon and Skep was trying to they caught him red-handed or whatever while he was going to dialysis or whatever. And obviously, with that, obviously, that's what we were trying to do. And granted, they were trying to like intervene and try to question EDP45, but he wasn't having it. He already knows strip. He was already carded and whatever. Gideon showed with a cupcake outfit, which is stupid. I don't know why he would do that, but okay, whatever. He did it anyway. Skep obviously was just trying to be fucking Chris Hansen, but black version, whatever. But okay, whatever. Obviously that happened, and obviously all of that is happening, and he ended up leaving, and this whole sting operation was a complete failure because one, he did not get the police involved. That's one. That's another thing. Same thing, Alex Rosen. You can get the police involved. Two, you guys approached him in a way where it's all about content and everything else stuff. Actually, get to the point. You just straight up just didn't even bother doing all that. And then three, you didn't approach it smartly. You guys literally just fucked the whole thing up by just being on the content side and actually focus on the content realm of things and actually trying to focus on content and then actually without like literally trying to get him off the street. And because of that, once again, just like Al Rosen, the law enforcement can't do nothing much about it. The FBI can't do much about it. With despite the proof and all that, they can't take it seriously unless they're not involved in this shit and then try to get him incarcerated in jail. But because there were no police involved with both Alex Rosen and Gideon's, they couldn't get him in jail. So it botched completely just like that. That's why this era of catching predators and all that is great and all. I'm glad that there's a lot of YouTubers and everybody else catching predators, which is cool. But if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it in a way where it's been taken seriously, but also do it in a way to where to where you gotta get the police involved. And they didn't get the police involved, which that was an error that Gideon and Skeets did, and it's kind of fucked over. You know what I'm saying? And albeit, yes, despite Kayla being the victim and all the type of stuff because she did got groomed went by EDP45 when she's like 15. She played this stupid victim because obviously she tried to do all this for clout and all that, knowing GDI and the whole entire whole entire Discord community of GDI told her not to. She did it anyway because she wanted to play this stupid, dumb, young shit. Again, stupid victim. I wish nothing but best for her. Obviously, I hope she's doing okay, whatever. But she played this stupid shit, and I don't know. This whole situation between Gideon and that whole Kayla situation is beyond crazy, but I recommend you watch his response on LinkedIn and the video and all type of stuff. But moving on to the documentary. So after all of this, obviously, EDP45 and everything else, obviously his health has been deteriorating as time goes on. Obviously, what I'm saying, in 2022, he was diagnosed with stage 5 kidney failure. Yep, he was diagnosed with stage 5 kidney failure and all that type of stuff. And they did talk upon his health and everything else. Not looking good. Stage 5 kidney failure, of course, in 2022. In order to lose 100, he had to lose 100 pounds in order to get the kidney, transplant and everything else. He had to go to dialysis, 4 hours, twice a week. And obviously the average, people that got like stage 5, kidney failure that live like the capacity is 5 years. Obviously, they talk about that in the documentary. So basically, he was diagnosed in 2022 of stage 5 kidney failure. So let's see, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. So in 2027, there's a possibility he might pass away because of that. So yeah, and he needs to lose that 100 pounds and in order to get the kidney transplant. But because he's been eating and not been dieting, which you see in the documentary, he don't care. He just want to eat his life away, which is going to kill him and probably next year or so. So yeah, there you go. So he's basically has stage 5 kidney failure. So great. So he don't want to change his life and he want to die like this. If it was me, I would change everything. I would take all the snacks and shit out the damn house and put all the healthy shit in there and call it a day. and try to get this transplant on my body because I want to live as much as I possibly can. But according to the sick-minded EDP45, he don't want to. He's want to eat his fat life away. At this point, give him a three-quarter pounder, three Big Mac with a large basket of fries with some McFlurry shit, and call it a day. I guess give it to him. I guess he let he was life away ended. So be it, I guess. Anyways, let's see. Of course, we'll talk about this too as well. EP started going to therapy, which obviously he ended up doing that to see what's wrong with him because he knew he was wrong about doing all this little mean up underage girls and all type of stuff. But he ended up start going to therapy after all this whole thing, like a couple of days, whatever. And then his friend, yes, I know this motherfucker got a friend. You're not gonna believe this. Just check it out. So this guy right here, name is Jimmy, aka EDP's best friend, aka also a L dad, and also aka a piece of shit himself. We'll go into detail on that one. So basically, this Jimmy dude, obviously, he's basically EDP's best friend. He's been knowing him since middle school. They used to talk and hang out and all type of stuff. He claimed that all this documentary and everything else that's been going on has completely be BS, and that he claimed that EDP is not a pedophile. Basically, that's what his friend said. Jimmy, this guy named Jimmy, said that the EDP45 is not pedophile. This whole entire documentary or anybody else that claimed that he is one is completely stupid, bogus, not true, whatever. And he basically also said this, and this will piss me off even more about this dude, and it makes me want to slap this motherfucker. This dude said that he has 2 kids, by the way. This dude said he will have his kids around EDP45. I'm not joking to you. I swear to God. We're at 50 minutes of this fucking video. He said, and I quote this, he said this, go look at the documentary you want to. He said that he would rather have his kids be around EDP45 alone. Knowing this dude is that his best friend EDP is a fucking child predator. He's a CP. This dude Jimmy said that he's not a child predator. His best friend EDP is not a child predator, and he would have his kids around him alone. No problem. The amount of swearing and weird shit that EDP is doing, and you would rather have your kids around him. Where's the baby mama at? Where is the baby mama? Because this baby mama needs to get that custody of that kid to get away from this nigga. Because this nigga is beyond fucking helpless. Like, put him in a black hole, put him in a blender, and call it a day. God damn it, where's the Punisher off of this new Spider-Man, the brand new day or whatever? We need the Punisher. We need to get him off the platform. Him, Jimmy, and this EDP45 motherfucker, and all the rest of the child predators doing all shit. We need to get them all out of here. We need the Punisher. We need the Punisher now. Like, this dude is completely weird. Like, this Jimmy dude, honestly, I could say so much about this dude of so many ways, but I don't want to go over 60 minutes of this video, but he's completely disgusting as well. L Father, if I was his brother, I beat the shit out of him for saying that shit. Next up, right here, we got EDP's girlfriend. I know this molester piece of shit EDP dude has a girlfriend. Well, it's now ex because according to the documentary, they broke up like I don't know a couple days later. So EDP used to date this woman here. I forgot her name was, but she used to be EDP's girlfriend. And unfortunately, they broke up. You know what I'm saying? Well, and unfortunately, thank God they broke up because you don't want to be with a nasty ass nigga like EDP45 who can't even wipe his own ass with his big ass. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? But besides that, though, they ended up, not being together. They ended up breaking up, whatever. Obviously, the reason why for it, because according to EDP45, he said, well, because you weren't giving me sex or anything. You know what I'm saying? He was too addicted to corn, which, by the way, yeah, we all figured that EDP45 was addicted to corn. He's been addicted to corn probably for a long time. That's why they broke up, because he's addicted to corn, and she won't give him some, have sex. He won't have sex with him. That's why they broke up. Basically, that's why EDP45 broke up with her, because she wouldn't give him sex. She wouldn't give him heads. You know what I'm saying? And result of him breaking up. Now, what ended up happening was after this breakup, he decides that, you know what? Let me go ahead and basically go ahead and do this this thing called like an AI girlfriend app. I'm not joking to you. He went from having like a legit girlfriend to now at this point his desperate ass decided to go do AI girlfriend app. Which, by the way, AI is artificial intelligence, meaning they're not real people. They're just robots, motherfucker, covering shit. And obviously, he's doing this whole AI girlfriend shit just to just to give his little addiction comes to corn or whatever, his little shit that he's going on, and obviously, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, all this other type of stuff. He has some weird like, you know, addiction, whatever, and all this type of stuff. He does some gay shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to go into details of it because I don't want to get, you know, striked down by YouTube, whatever. But yeah, he does some weird gay shit, whatever. But it's around this little, it's around towards the end of the document when he talk about, you know, having an AI girlfriend, whatever. Yeah, he when he's downhill, all the way downhill. So obviously that's that and everything else. And there you have it. That's the whole documentary. That's it. That's everything I cover, all the details and everything. Get my thoughts, opinions on this whole entire documentary and everything else. Overall, it's a W. It's a really good documentary. If you want to go watch it for yourself, go ahead and please go ahead and watch it. But proceed with caution and viewer discretion is advised. So go ahead if you want to watch the shit. Is some of the stuff is very disturbing, so be careful on that one. Shout out to Mike Clums. Sorry, shout out to him. He did donate some of the stuff that he made out of the documentary towards like a organization deal with you know SA, you know, violence, whatever, or crimes that involve with children, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying, that the minors with children, all that type of stuff. And you know, shout out to him once again for the documentary, documentary. I enjoyed it, although I was nasty in certain things and areas. Uh, that makes me want to wash my face and all this type of stuff because I was blind by this shit looking at it. But overall, he did a good documentary on EDP445. He did 2 years of it, you know what I'm saying? Try to document this dude for quite some time. And honestly, thank God he got him out. And you know what I'm saying? Because now, with him openly admitting of doing these such and such on camera, there is a chance that he could possibly get arrested because he did admit over 16 criminal acts in the documentary. So hopefully, the law enforcement, the FBI, could look into this dude and arrest this dude. Because hopefully around 2026, and they do arrest him because there's proof for everything based off of this documentary alone should get him off the damn streets and get him off of being a free man. And if not, then let nature take its course and let his kidney die off so he could die off, I guess. I'm not the type of person that usually say that, but hey, he don't want to change his way of eating and he wants to stay fat, and this is what's going to happen to him. So either the law enforcement take him out or nature take his course, or his kidney failure is going to take him out and he'll be gone. You know what I'm saying? So um, yeah, it's a damn shame that how far he has great support on, but he did it to himself over the years. This is his own fault. He shot himself in the own foot doing all this all nasty shit and knowing that it was wrong, doing all this other nasty shit, and he did this to himself. And here's the sad part about this. One thing I learned about this like documentary, that I learned about this documentary. There's a lot of nasty motherfuckers out there that are like him, and it's and this game is growing like almost every single day. And I can see why people like Gideon and Skeets are trying to like stop these predators from doing all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But they can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Hopefully we catch more predators like EDP45 bringing to justice, and hopefully the criminals, the policeman department, wherever he's at, or the people, the federal, whatever government that's watching this fucking documentary, hopefully they put this nigga behind bars, and that way I can make a video celebrate this shit because he deserved to be behind the bar. He should be sent to at least 30 years in prison. But who knows? He's gonna be dying probably next year anyway due to the kidney failure. But hey, I normally don't pray on anybody who passing, but this dude kind of deserved this at this point, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it on this whole entire documentary. I mean, talking about it, giving my thoughts, opinions on it. Documentary. Shout out to Mike Clums. I will link the whole entire documentary and all that in the description and his channel if you want to go follow it. There was a documentary about this person named Boogie. Obviously, Boogie65 right here. I'll show you right here on the screen. Yeah, this is Boogie 29888. I used to watch it when I was growing up as a kid around like early YouTube days. If you guys want me to talk about him, he made a documentary on this one. I watched this a long time ago. I'll talk about that if you guys want me to. Let me know in the comment section down below you want to talk about this. And let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about the whole entire documentary of, you know, Mike Plum making a documentary of EDP45 and anything else. That's pretty much it. That's all I got to say about the documentary. W overall, 10 out of 10. Awesome. Very disturbing, but it is what it is, though. I saw myself into it to watch it, and I didn't have to watch it, but I watched it anyway because this piece of shit need to go to jail. EP45. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, take care, Mal. Peace.